bombing planes took off in the first move against Amba Aradam and Amba Alaji, the mountain strongholds from which the Ethiopians menaced the entire northern army of the invaders. Marshal Badoglio gave the signal for the bombardment. And as the guns roared along a 30-mile front, the bombers rained death. Taken from a plane in the bombing squadron, these thrilling pictures are the first to reach America of the biggest battle in the Ethiopian war. On the heels of the bombardment, the infantry advance on Ras Mulugeta's position. Over this terrain, rapid movements are impossible, even after intensive bombing and gunfire. Gaining comparatively open country, the Italians advanced to the village of Taga Taga, which was in flames. Here the full horror of modern warfare was gruesomely exposed. The mean huts of the natives on fire, the Ethiopians fled in terror, their trenches deserted except by the pathetic victims of the invasion. Italy claimed her biggest victory.
20 miles to the other side of Ottawa, Ethiopian regulars marched to the three-day battle in which Ottawa, goal of the Italians for 40 years, fell before the withering hail of fire from Roman guns. Italian planes are reported nearby, so as troops press on, they practice breaking ranks to seek cover in the event of sudden attack. But other Ethiopians, not so strong-willed. And side by side with the men are 3 million women ready to face Italian bullets themselves if necessary. These pictures show a women's emergency meeting near the palace, forming a defense league. Even royal ladies are in the ranks. One of them is Princess Sharaga. There she is on the right. Notice the royal markings on her neck. And every day it still rains, the same monotonous rain that's holding off the start of hostilities. But supplies for the army come in by caravan. A primitive nation is mobilizing, but fighting the same handicaps that block Italy. And now the first actual pictures of Selassie's irregulars leaving for the front. 3,000 in this command. They're barefoot and bareheaded, and they trudge 40 miles a day with nothing but their antiquated rifles. And tribal chieftains are their leaders. These simple Africans know no fear. They've pledged their lives to their country and their emperor. A year ago, Ethiopia seldom made news. Today, millions fear that a spark on the desert will again set the whole world aflame. 0 hour has struck with a big Italian push. But Italian colonials and troops from Rome, it's on to Ottawa, only 10 miles away. These pictures were made under fire. It's the start of the attack that gave the Black Shirts their first major victory in the African War. Tanks rumble over the jagged terrain to slash a hole for the batteries to follow through. Bombardment. The command to fire. They're aiming at the Ethiopian line. And here go the first shells.
Italian Field Headquarters in Aksum, Ethiopia. Italian Air Scouts drop reports every hour, every day. On the basis of these reports covering every move of the Ethiopian columns comes the latest news from the fighting front. Italian field officers pictured here at work report that they have positive proof that Emperor Selassie's troops are using the Red Cross emblem to shield ammunition dumps and to protect the movements of scouting parties. Over the most modern of army communication system, the charge was flashed to Rome, and there given out to the press of the world. But from Ethiopia's capital comes another story. To the hospitals are brought those wounded in the Italian air raids. These are the survivors of a raided Swedish Red Cross field hospital on the south front, where 28 Ethiopians and 1 Swedish attendant were killed. Among the wounded was, beside these Ethiopians, the chief of the Swedish Red Cross unit, Dr. Highlander. Dr. Highlander declares his field hospital was in the open, clearly marked with the Red Cross. Despite his wounds, the doctor makes his charge against the Italian airmen in emphatic terms. Dr. Highlander.
I am sure that the Italians intended to spoil the Swedish Red Cross field hospital so thoroughly that not a single Swedish man should remain as witness. But through the wonder of God, most of us were saved.
እናንተን አምነው የፍልስጤማውያን መሪ ሆነው ከዚህ አንተ ውሻ ነኝ ከዚህ በወንጭፍ ይዘህ የምትመጣብኝ አለው ይባላል። የሰለጠኑ አገሮች ይባላሉ። ግን እስበሳቸው ነጭም ቢሆን ነጭም ስለሆነ ያንን አገር በቅኝ አገር ስለተያዘ